Okay, so that takes care of if the email is blank or if the email is invalid. Otherwise, we want to make sure that the email exists in the database. So to do that, we're going to use a MySQL I statement. And we're going to use prepare and select email from members or email equals question. And we're going to bind parameters. The one item is going to be a string. And we're going to give it the email pulled from the form. So then we execute the query. We store the result, and we check to see what's returned. So if no rows are returned, we know we get an error. And so I'm going to display a message to the user, asking them to please check for typos. And then I'm going to show the form again, like so. However, else, if we do have a result in the database, we do want to go ahead and process this. And to do this, it's a couple-step process. The first step we're going to do is we're going to create a key, and what that is going to be a 16-character string, which will contain a mix of upper and lowercase letters and numbers. And what I'm going to do is at the end of this file down here, believe we can go ahead let's go ahead and delete all of this, everything except for the closed database connection down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up this key that we need. I'm going to give it a function, and I have that saved. And it's a function I called random string, and we pass in a length, and then it returns us a string based on a number that contains a mixture of uppercase and lowercase letters and numbers 0 through 9. So to create our key, we'll just do key equals random string and pass in 16. So that'll give us the key we need, and this key will appear, it'll appear in the URL. So for example, we're going to do and then it'll contain the random string, etc., up through 16 characters. And I'll be showing you what we do with this in a second. So we created our key. Now we need to create the email that we're going to send to the user. And we're going to be doing something a little bit different with this one. Let's start out with the subject. And this is the first time we're going to be using our config variables that we set up at the beginning of this tutorial. Okay, so that's going to be the subject. And then for the message, like I said, we're going to be doing something slightly different, and we're going to be building an HTML email message. And that's a little bit different from plain text in the sense that we can actually fill in HTML code within this email. So that'll make it easy for us to link up the text that we want the user to click on. Okay, so it's going to start out HTML and body tags, and you can look into this in a little bit more detail if you're interested. But with HTML email, you don't need to worry about the head tags. Those would be stripped anyway. Most email clients don't like that. So start out with an HTML and body. And we're going to add a p tag. It simply says hello. Okay, so the main advantage with this particular method is that we can be pretty secure in the fact that only the account holder will have access to their email. So we can send them an email and know that they should be the only ones who can open it up and see it. And this particular method, sending them a link to reset their password, means that we don't actually reset their password until they physically click on the link and tell us to. So for some reason, if perhaps a visitor to the site came across this page, started typing in random email addresses and trying to reset people's passwords and gain access to the site somehow, we want to make sure that it's secure and that the user themselves physically has to click the link and move forward on this. So if for some reason their request is a mistake, maybe they didn't even do it, they can ignore this message and their password will stay the same. So we're almost done with this. So message.equals, and now we want to include that link. Now we'll add in the key value. And I can just simply copy and paste this. So we'll display this link within text as well. Within the anchor text, just in case for some reason they can't click the link. Okay, I believe that's good. And the last line in this message, just closing out the body and HTML tags.